Coming up on AgweekTV, we'll have agronomic insights from this year's Northern Ag Expo in Fargo. EPA reneges on the president's biofuels plan. We'll find out why coming up. Farmers in the Western Corn Belt continue to struggle with the propane shortage, and we'll look at how the land and equipment market is performing in uncertain times. Welcome to AgweekTV. I'm Michelle Rook. This week we're at the Northern Ag Expo at the Fargo Dome. The show is organized by the North Dakota Agricultural Association and features a trade show plus educational sessions promoting stewardship and a better understanding and proper utilization of crop production practices and products. We'll be sharing some of those agronomic insights later in the show. First up in news, the push is on to get Congress to ratify the USMCA trade agreement. The ball has been in House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's court to schedule a vote. But early in the week, she said the Democrats were still working out differences with the Trump administration to ensure that improved labor and environmental standards were enforced. Both Mexico and Canada recently signaled openness to those demands. The two countries would have to approve any changes to the trade deal. The agricultural community has also been optimistic about a successful vote on this important trade deal.
If we were to have the vote today, USMCA would pass. We know that. It's now a matter of just convincing the speaker to bring it forward. I do believe we'll get our vote, and it is possible that we get it done before the end of the year, and that's what we're pushing for.
The fear is if USMCA isn't passed in 2019, it will get embroiled in even more election year politics.
We need to get this passed, get out of this political issue, and going into 2020, it could get really muddy in the muddy waters if we wait into the summertime to try to pass this thing.
Passing USMCA has been a priority for the Trump administration. Sources indicate with differences worked out, a USMCA vote could come up next week. In other trade news, on Monday, President Trump said the administration would restore the Section 232 tariffs on steel and aluminum imports from Brazil and Argentina. In the unexpected announcement, Trump said both nations have been devaluing their currencies, which is not good for U.S. farmers. The Brazilian real and Argentina peso recently fell to record lows compared to the U.S. dollar, which makes our exports less competitive. The comment period closed on November 29th for EPA's proposed rule on renewable volume obligations for 2020 under the Renewable Fuels Standard. In those comments, lawmakers and the biofuels industry asked EPA to uphold the RFS and the deal they cut with the president September 12th. That comes after EPA's proposal fell well short of the president's promise to reallocate part of the biofuels volume lost due to the small plant waivers that have resulted in 1 billion bushels of lost corn demand. In Trump's deal, EPA was to reallocate biofuels volumes from the 85 small refinery exemptions granted in the past 3 years. But their 2020 RFS proposal uses flawed Department of Energy recommendations.
This is not the first time that we've heard one thing from the president and seen something completely different from EPA. We had some kind of touch and go moments on the E15 rulemaking, a real disconnect between the Oval Office and EPA.
EPA was also charged to use a 3-year rolling average of lost biofuels volumes.
That in total volume was 4 billion gallons. The average of that over the 3 years is 1.35 billion gallons. The deal we thought we had was that 1.35 billion gallons, the average of actual volume exempted those years, would be added on to the 2020 RVO.
Senators, including Mike Rounds, were in on the biofuels deal and have been pushing the president.
And what EPA has now been told is you put your rules together in such a fashion that you honor the 15 billion gallons.
Biofuels supporters also provided thousands of comments on the proposed rule to EPA.
They've got the chance to fix it, and the fact is we can do better moving forward, and I think they know that, but they need to listen to what was said and then agree, and go back and fulfill the promises that were made.
But even if EPA follows the deal, the ethanol industry loses 2.7 billion gallons of mandated ethanol that will never be reallocated.
This deal would not address that lost volume. It would simply, look forward and hopefully stop the bleeding.
And the collateral damage has already been done, with 20 plus ethanol in 7 biodiesel plants partially or fully shut down. The hope is this will be cleaned up in the final rule, which EPA is expected to release in January. Otherwise, the president could lose support in farm country in November. Propane, and a lot of it is needed this year to dry the abnormally wet corn crop throughout the region. But it can be a little hard to come by. Arlen Bondi is one of those who can't get enough propane. We found him combining corn at his farm near Valley City. He was only about a third done, and despite fears about staying ahead of the weather, Bondi's been delayed because he can't get propane to dry his crop. On the day we stopped, Bondi's corn was running at 22 to 28% moisture. He sells most of his corn to ethanol plants in the area, and he wants it at about 14% before hauling it in. He doesn't have to dry every year, but he's never had this much trouble getting propane before.
We're like many of the growers around that have can't get propane when they need it regularly. It started out the harvest was okay, but now it's hit and miss. So we were out over the weekend, we got a load, and now we'll be out tomorrow again.
You can read much more in this week's Ag Week cover story or at agweek.com. Ahead on AgweekTV from the Northern Ag Expo, could it be the crop of the future? Some farmers learn about the risks and rewards of growing hemp.
Every so often, technology revolutionizes an industry. We introduce WHEELMAN, an easy-to-use and simple-to-install, complete auto steering system that any farmer can afford. WHEELMAN works with over 700 tractor makes and models, and there are no additional fees. You buy direct, it ships to your home, and installs in just a couple of hours. Starting at $39.95, WHEELMAN has arrived. Learn more at handsfreefarm.com/arrived.
Martinson Ag Risk Management offers a variety of crop marketing and crop insurance packages to our customers. With over 40 years of experience, our dedicated staff works hard to ensure you get the best advice on crop insurance, marketing, and risk management. Contact Randy or any of the staff at Martinson Ag Risk Management today at 701-205-4200 or visit us online at martinsonag.com.
Ready for more? The new Fendt 900 Vario is impressive on every level. With groundbreaking features, you'll be ready for everyday challenges now and in the future. New smart connectivity solutions make the Fendt 900 series from Butler Machinery an intelligent choice for your farm. We're also proud to carry the Fendt Ideal, a new combine for a new era of farming. Designed to be automated in operation, the Ideal combine is already setting industry standards for efficiency and output. Visit butlermachinery.com to schedule a demo at your operation.
With the success of the Case IH Steiger Quad Track and Magnum Road Track tractors, it's no secret why Case IH is the leader of the track. So it wasn't surprising when the competition started imitating us. But only Case IH offers a 5-axle design to give you a smoother ride, more power to the ground, with less berming and compaction. Still, we're flattered. In fact, if we weren't already red, we'd be blushing.
Seriously?
Welcome back to the Northern Ag Expo here at the Fargo Dome. The current low crop prices have many farmers looking for more profitable alternatives. Growing hemp was one of the seminar topics at the Northern Ag Expo. North Dakota launched a hemp pilot program in 2015. With the passage of the 2018 Farm Bill, commercial hemp production is now allowed, but growers need to undergo a background check to be licensed to grow hemp. And the fields where it's grown are subject to testing by the state to make sure THC levels aren't too high. CBD is rapidly growing in popularity for medicinal use and could be highly profitable for farmers.
You know, I've been looking at new crops for a long time, many decades, and this is an exciting new crop that I think is way ahead of the other ones because it is a new old crop, but we have so many varieties.
North Dakota farmers interested in growing hemp should contact the state ag department. Joining us right now, Chad Hart with ISU. I want to start off with the corn market. You know, all season long, producers have felt like this crop is getting smaller, but USDA isn't reflecting that. Will we see that in the January report finally?
We will see it get smaller, but not to the extent that farmers want to see. I think what you will see is a pullback mainly on harvested area. We'll see a little bit pullback on yield, but in the grand scheme of things, this will still be quite a large corn, and the same thing on the soybean side. Soybean crops are being reported in January.
And in the meantime, Chad, we have a smaller crop than last year, obviously, but we also have really poor demand that's offsetting that, right?
Yeah, we've seen basically as supplies have shrunk a little bit, demand's been shrinking even faster. The biggest area in the export markets. We're down roughly 40-50% in terms of our export sales pace from last year to this year, and it's been broad-based losses.
Now, soybeans have had a big pullback off the highs, and the funds have actually exited a lot of their long position here, and so we're back into new lows for the move. And some of that has been predicated on what's been going on with China. So what do you see going forward?
You've watched the funds come in and out, basically swinging with every rumor that we hear, trade deal or no, and they're swinging back out again. I think a key feature as we're looking for the soybean market will be the approach up to December 15th. December 15th is when the next round of tariffs are supposed to go in. If they don't go in, I think you'll see the funds flip again and come back into the marketplace, betting on that phase one trade deal coming in sooner rather than later.
The interesting part as well has been we have price levels right now that are very similar to a year ago, but we have ending stocks which are half of that level, and so there's a disconnect there too.
There's a disconnect there, but it's also a change in, if you think about it, it's that change in demand which is creating part of that. The idea is that if demand is truly weakening, then you don't need the stock levels as high as we've had in past years.
Pleasure to see you. Thanks so much. Chad Hart with Iowa State University. Ahead on AgweekTV, what farmers need to know for next year about this year's record number of prevented plant acres.
At Superior Grain Equipment, we're committed to quality and service, offering you the best in grain storage and dryers for any size operation. Our experts will work with you to determine the most efficient and economical storage solution for your needs. We help protect your bottom line and your future with the industry's best bins and warranties. Make the superior choice for protection today and tomorrow with Superior Grain Equipment.
Dynaflow is the ultimate high-volume water management pump. Whether you're experiencing flooding, emptying sloughs, transferring ponds, or working on irrigation, the Dynaflow pump works in as little as 18 inches of water and is designed to move 3,000 gallons per minute. The Dynaflow lift pump is the perfect upgrade to your drain tile system. Using line shaft turbine pump technology, these pumps are made to last while operating efficiently. Dynaflow drain tile pumps can move up to 1,500 gallons per minute, up to 3,400 feet away.
Steffes Group, selling land and the equipment to farm it since 1960. If you're interested in selling or have questions about our auction process, head to our website at steffesgroup.com to contact us at any one of our 4 locations located throughout the Midwest. You can also visit and subscribe to our YouTube channel to view all of our auction previews and recaps to stay up to date on the market in your area.
Upgrade your trailer to electric with the Rolltech electric system from AgriCover. Strong, flexible pivot arms and motor mount rotate and telescope, allowing the roll tube to rise and flex over heaped loads. The positive automatic lock is impossible to back off to control the flow of grain. This integrated system uses one wireless remote to operate up to 10 tarps and hoppers, keeping your driver out of the dust, rain, and harm's way. See the Rolltech system in action at an AgriCover dealer near you.
When harvest comes around, time is precious and you don't have a moment to waste. North Star Ag offers the Lawson's Grain Logic's grain bag loader to deliver versatile grain storage performance load after load. Lawson's user-friendly grain baggers are easy to load and unload, perfect to get your harvest in the bag. Uptime is crucial. Keep your crew in the field longer with a fuel trailer from Thunder Creek. And don't forget, North Star Ag has Meridian hopper bins for any size operation. See our complete new and used equipment inventory at northstarag.com or give us a call.
With a record 20 million prevented plant acres in the U.S. this season, farmers may be looking at a repeat in 2020, especially with all the unharvested corn still in the field. So what do farmers need to consider for next season? Agronomists say they need to manage those PP fields to avoid fallow syndrome, which decreases microbiological activity. Plus, they need to economically control the weeds. So planting a cover crop may be the best alternative.
If we don't get a cover crop out there, there's a good chance that we'll be wet again and set ourselves up for yet another season of prevent plants. So the recommendation was try to get a cover crop so that they can start sucking up some of that moisture that's there excess and making sure that they manage it well.
He says soil compaction is also a concern and the effects can last for several seasons. The latest winter storm system dumped several inches of snow across parts of the northern Corn Belt, and this will further slow or end the remaining harvest. With 64% of the corn left in the field in North Dakota, 20% in South Dakota, and 9% in Minnesota. Meteorologist Mark Ewan says farmers may get a chance to get back in the field, though, as a unique El Nino may mean some colder winter temperatures as it shifts the warmer air to the western U.S.
This is a unique El Nino known as a Madokai, and that is where the warmer water has shifted to the west, and that essentially shifts the entire weather patterns westward. So instead of the warmest air being over the plains as in a normal El Nino, the warmest air shifts towards the Pacific Northwest.
For farmers that still have crop in the field, the end of the insurance period is coming up December 10th for fall crops.
They should contact their crop insurance agent, put in a claim, or have them at least contact their insurance provider so that they can come out and either, one, appraise the crop, or they could extend their harvest period.
Again, he stresses if you get an extension, the crop is still covered under crop insurance. So is there more snow in our immediate forecast? Here's our AgriWeather outlook.
Good news and bad news here. Let's start with the bad news. It's setting up to be a fairly cold next couple of weeks. That takes us right on up through the middle part of December. Perhaps exceedingly cold, perhaps just plain cold, but doubtlessly cold. The good news is, out of that cold weather, the stormy weather will be shunted very far to the south and east, so it does not look like it will be particularly stormy, nor so particularly wet here in the northern plains and the upper sections of the Midwest. Cold weather has dumped into the region, but we really feel it looking ahead this week. By about Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going to have a few days where across North Dakota, northern Minnesota, temperatures may not go above zero all day. That's pretty cold weather for this early in December, and it's happening because although the jet stream is split, there's a significant branch that goes pretty far north. Now that cold weather will linger for sure through midweek. Looks like it might try to relax a little bit later in the week, but it's not going to go away. What's happening is that ridge is shrinking a little bit, but we still have a low pressure trough, and that's likely to stick around through the weekend and on into the second week. So as we go through the mid part of December, it's likely to remain very cold, and it wouldn't take much to shift this ridge northward a bit and cause that frigid weather to come back sometime around the mid part of December. That's not my forecast, but it is a definite, distinct possibility. Now, as far as precipitation goes with this pattern, it mostly goes along the coasts. This week through December 14th, it's going to be rainy and snowy along the coast. Next week, if the weather modifies a bit, we may get a sequence of clipper systems coming through the northern plains into the Great Lakes. It's likely that the lake effect areas of the Great Lakes will be quite wet, but most of the precipitation will stay south and in the far west.
DTE is your headquarters for flatbeds and service bodies for your truck. Whether you need to haul bales, heavy commercial equipment, or take every tool with you, DTE has the truck equipment you need. We have over 200 units on hand, or will custom build a flatbed or service body on your truck.
Like this Dewey's bale bed with dual lift cylinder arms. Lift, load, and handle your bales with ease.
When you need help at the farm, your business, or in the oil patch, count on DTE. DTE, let us build a truck for you.
Now is the perfect time to ensure you're ready for spring. Order now and receive up to $4,000 bonus savings for early orders of Summers Land Rollers, Summers Super Coulters, and the new Summers VRT Renegade. Offer valid through December and January and subject to availability. Visit summersmfg.com for details.
Mayo Manufacturing, your Red River Valley source for Badco. Mayo Manufacturing, your Red River Valley Badco dealer.
More successful seasons start with more freedom in the field. The exclusive agronomic and economic incentives of the FMC Freedom Pass program expand your crop protection options from pre-plant to harvest. More than 40 FMC products qualify. 40-plus herbicides, insecticides, and fungicides growers know and trust. And FMC rewards you for making independent, innovative crop protection decisions, not for making your seed purchase. Visit your FMC retailer or FMCFreedomPass.com today.
Mother Nature doesn't always cooperate. So when conditions are right, be ready with genuine Case IH parts from Titan Machinery. Only genuine Case IH parts are engineered to keep your equipment running at peak efficiency when you're running around the clock. Don't risk your bottom line with off-brand parts that don't meet the same standards. Visit your local Titan Machinery dealership today to find out why genuine Case IH parts offer the best value and performance for your operation.
Joining us is Max Steffes with the Steffes Group. Let's talk a little bit about the fall land market. We have seen a lot of uncertainty with the trade war continuing. It's been a horrible, historically slow harvest, and really, you guys have stayed very strong with the market though, haven't you?
Yeah, we really have. You know, in spite of a near impossible harvest for some crops here in the Red River Valley, the market's been surprisingly strong, stable, and predictable. So that's good in an otherwise uncertain ag economy. It's good to see that strength.
So what do you think it is that has actually helped keep that land market so stable here this fall?
You know, there's still good equity in the agriculture sector, primarily on the farmland side of things. When there's a good piece of land that comes up for sale, there's many producers in the agriculture space that are still in a good position to borrow money to purchase that piece that they desire. Maybe a piece that's across the road that they've been driving by since they were a boy. They're still in a very good position to be aggressive and purchase that farm. And as a result of that, we've seen some robust and strong sales, primarily on the quality farmland.
Max, you do have some really good examples, though, of some of the sales results that you've had.
In the last 4 months, we've sold 12,000 acres in 5 states. Most recently here in the Valley, we sold 827 acres near the Expo-Hickson area. 5,100 was the average, with some farmland tracts selling as high as 56. There were several development tracts that brought close to, one tract brought $27,000 an acre. Good interest, strong interest in bidding from both farmers and investors.
And the machinery market has also stayed very strong too, hasn't it?
Yes, there again, surprisingly stable and predictable, mostly on the, I'm going to say, pieces that are under $100,000. We talk about equipment developing a pedigree nowadays, and if we get a farm retirement or an estate type situation sale, auction sale, where we can have that equipment on that farm, and it's a well cared for farm, that equipment's had a good home, watch out. Those pieces are selling very, very well.
So Max, if folks are thinking about an auction, either land or machinery, what is it that sets you guys apart?
You know, one thing I would say would be footprint. And when it comes to agricultural auction companies, the Steffes Group, first of all, has been in the business since 1960, but we have one of the largest footprints. And from that footprint comes some of the largest database of known buyers, both when it comes to tillable farm acreage and also farm equipment.
So if people want more information, you guys have a fantastic website.
Yeah, steffesgroup.com. There's a wonderful plethora of information when it comes to market results on farmland and farm equipment. And we'd encourage people to go there and take a look at that recent land sale that was in your neighborhood. We publish all the results there. And also maybe if you got a piece of equipment that you're considering selling, steffesgroup.com is a wonderful resource to give you some comparable sales, to give you some indication of what that piece might bring.
All right, thanks so much. Max Steffes joining us with the Steffes Group. Still ahead on AgweekTV, a South Dakota electrician isn't kidding around when it comes to his livestock.
This is Dennis Beliski reminding you we do auctions and we do them well. You've built your operation with hard work, and when it's time to sell, all or part, you deserve the best. Details from repairs and preparation to promotion and settlements are not routine. Chances are you'll only do this once, so we'll tailor an auction just for you and get it done right. On site at your farm or added to one of our highly successful Alaris Center auctions, we have the skill, reputation, and integrity to meet your needs with best-in-class commitment and quality service. Find us at resourceauction.com or call 701-757-4015.
It's the perfect time to get ready for harvest, and North Star Ag has the equipment you need to keep things running smoothly this season. We have a great selection of augers from Meridian and Wheatheart, as well as Batco and Unitube conveyors. Uptime is crucial. Keep your crew in the field longer with a fuel trailer from Thunder Creek. And don't forget, North Star Ag has Meridian hopper bins for any size operation. See our complete new and used equipment inventory at northstarag.com or give us a call.
Upgrade your trailer to electric with the Rolltech electric system from AgriCover. Strong, flexible pivot arms and motor mount rotate and telescope, allowing the roll tube to rise and flex over heaped loads. The positive automatic lock is impossible to back off to control the flow of grain. This integrated system uses one wireless remote to operate up to 10 tarps and hoppers, keeping your driver out of the dust, rain, and harm's way. See the Rolltech system in action at an AgriCover dealer near you.
Where do you go for the latest news in agriculture? Ag Week magazine. Reaching over 70,000 farmers and ranchers in North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota, and Montana. Ag Week provides the most up-to-date information on the markets, the trends, and the people who make it all happen. We're your source for news, not fluff. Dependable, trusted. Ag Week. Subscribe today by calling 1-800-811-2580.
Ag Week is excited to bring you the Ag Week app with useful features and the latest news and information right at your fingertips. Get your Ag Week news, weather, and the latest episodes of AgweekTV. Plus, see real-time information on the futures market and view local cash bids for your crops. Stay updated and take Ag Week with you wherever you are. Download the Ag Week app today. A South Dakota electrician has an interesting side business. Tallis Johnson owns Builders Electric near Sioux Falls, but as Mickle Pates found, when he and his sons aren't working in that business, they're tending a growing herd of goats.
They tease me about being a goat rancher, and I just take it in stride.
All kidding aside, Johnson's herd grew from 15 goats when he found a small piece of land 2 years ago to 158 today. He and his own kids raised them for meat, but it didn't start out that way. At first, the goats were a non-economic hobby.
The first ones we bought, we named all of them, and my wife made it pretty clear that we weren't going to eat anything that we had named. So we have not yet to eat any of our goats over there. And we sell them all.
It had been a horse property, so it was pretty well set up to convert to goats. But one thing they did have to do was put in better fencing.
You need very good fencing for goats, because if there's a spot to get out of the fence, they will find it. 32 kid goats, 70 pounders, sold for $2.52 a pound.
But after raising goats for a while, they soon noticed there was a strong market for meat goats. They currently get about $2 a pound, with most of the meat consumed on the East Coast. And while it has developed into a side business, Johnson still considers it mostly a nice diversion from his day job.
Just to get away from the work around here and the hustle and bustle of this, it's nice to get over there and work with the goats. They're actually almost like pets.
At Renner, South Dakota, this is Mickle Pates for Ag Week.
Johnson says they'll start kidding in the middle of December. Thanks for watching this week's edition of AgweekTV here from the Northern Ag Expo. Remember, for all your ag news, go to agweek.com and be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter as well. We'll see you next week.